Yo, all right. Got my coffee. I'm ready to go. Got the candle lit. This is a quick setup. Didn't plan on doing this at all today. I thought the podcast was chalked. I thought it was done. That was finito, over, through. But some stuff's happened recently. I guess that's my job to fill you guys in. So without further ado, let me take a sip of coffee first. Folgers in my cup. Welcome back to the PO3 Podcast. My name is Marx, and I'm here by myself. So welcome back to the PO3 Podcast. My former podcast partner, Victor Jr., is no longer with us. He's still alive, don't get me wrong. He just moved away. As you guys know, he was going through his stuff, and he's had a rough road. So one thing came to another, and the best thing for him to do was just pack up and go. I hope you don't mind me putting that out there if you do see this, but I won't divulge any further than that. So we'll leave it at that. So I am flying solo, and I'm not gonna lie, it disappointed me just because this was a huge outlet for me, as far as therapy goes. And after the podcast ended, I felt like I didn't really have a purpose, like it was really helping me, and it was serving its purpose, and it was working as therapy, and I was getting better at, communicating with my partner and the whole nine. I felt like I lost something, because this was very important to me. But a lot of things have changed. I mean, as far as my mentality goes, and situations, and so I don't want to make this video too long. This is just like a recap of what I've been going through and stuff, and for the people that were subscribed and listening and tuning in, it goes for my family as well. I know it looks like the channel died, and it did die. R.I.P. But this is chapter 2, so I want to continue and do this on my own. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and you know what? I'm just gonna do this shit on my own. I don't even care anymore. Like, I'm at a point in my life, I can truly say I don't care anymore, like what people think of me or what my perspective is or what their perspective is on me. Like, I'm living for me now, like, and my partner. Like, I'm here to make us happy, and I want to make myself happy. I'm so sick and tired of beating myself the fuck up, and I've had an epiphany, you know. Everyone has their breaking point, and my partner was getting very, very close to that, and it scared the shit out of me. I don't want to lose her because of what I'm going through, and the way I'm behaving, because of my bipolar disorder and a number of other things. But I'm ready to make a change, because after the podcast and after it ended, and we went through a handful of other shit. That's just not the podcast ending is not the only thing that did it, but a handful of other things. I just noticed, I started declining mentally in a big way. I got more depressed than I've ever gotten before. I mean, I've been that depressed, but it's just scarier this time. I really started not to give a fuck about anything, including myself. And I just didn't care about anything. It got to a point where my partner even reached out to my mom because she was so concerned, and she's never done that before. She's always kept everything to herself, which I never condone. I never advocated that. I always encouraged her to reach out to whoever's close to her to speak about it. She had my permission. I wasn't embarrassed about it. Speaking of that, so the people, let's just put it this way. So people very close to us who had no idea what was going on with me for these past 5 years, had no idea that I was struggling with a mental illness or that I was, unemployed for certain reasons or whatever. They had no idea because my partner never mentioned it to them. And if you had the right context and you knew what the situation was, a lot of it was because I didn't want to put business out there that would affect their perception of us, or, I just didn't want any sympathy, and she didn't as well. She didn't want them to dislike me for any reason. So nothing ever got said. For a long time, we hid it from everybody. And after the incident happened where I feel like my partner reached a breaking point, I decided, that it's time for me to take that weight off of her shoulders. And that's a quote from my aunt. God bless her. I love you. I know you're going to be watching this. And actually, it was a big part of the reason why I'm doing this is because she told me just to do it, and that I should keep going. But she told me and gave me advice that I took immediately. Like basically when I got off the phone with her, that I should take that weight off her shoulders and just inform them about what's going on in my situation, just have a heart to heart with them. And that was so nerve wracking for me because it was one of those things where I dreaded doing and I just didn't know how to go about it. So knocked on the door, said, "Hey, can I, speak to you for a minute on, about something serious?" Sat him down, poured myself some whiskey, uh, and I almost, I almost didn't do it, but I had to flip the switch in my head. And as soon as that switch was flipped, there was no stopping me. So we ended up talking about it for a good 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And I'll tell you, it was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders just to break everything down and let them know, like, look, if you guys ever felt like there were some weird vibes in the house, it was because of this. It was never directed towards you. It was just me being in my head and me just dealing with what I'm dealing with. And having done that, it was on, I think it was on Valentine's Day too. I even remember I mentioned saying that too. I was like, I'm sorry to drop this shit on you guys on Valentine's Day, but if I don't do it now, I'm never gonna do it. So I had to, and I feel 100% better. That was just I viewed it as one step towards me really getting better because that was the big talk that me and my partner had. My fiance was, you need to get better, and I made a promise to her that I'm going to finally take this shit 100% serious because I don't want to lose her, and I don't expect her to stick around if I'm not helping myself because I wouldn't want to be with somebody who's not helping themselves either. So, as you guys know, I like to take accountability for my actions and everything that I do. Um, so I took accountability, and I'm ready for the first time in my life to finally correct this shit. So we started lining up doctor's appointments and doing research and looking at different places where we can go as a couple for couples therapy, individual therapy, and just treatment overall. And finally getting on medication if I feel like I find the right doctor who knows me well enough to die. I mean, I've been diagnosed 3 times already, but who knows me enough to where I feel comfortable that they have enough information that medication is the proper route to take, like right away. Because I got so tired of just going in there for 30 minutes, seeing a doctor, and then them diagnosing me and then just handing me a bottle of pills. And it's just like, I don't feel like you know the whole story, and you don't know anything about me, So I know you're the expert, and but there's a lot of angles to this shit, and I want to feel like they're taking the correct amount of time and really diving into who I am as a person to give me the correct treatment plan, So that that's huge for me, and I'm pretty excited about the future now for the first time, and I'm looking forward to just finally getting better. It's been a long fucking road, so cheers to that. Um, I had to do this. I didn't have any intention of getting up and recording it all today, or even ever continuing the podcast. But I started looking at some of our old YouTube videos of the videos that we posted, and honestly, I was just like, man, I really, really miss this. Like, it sucks that it had to end, but things happen, and as they say, you make plans and God laughs, and that's totally true. You kind of just got to roll with the punches and adapt and overcome. And that's one thing that I've always done. I didn't maybe overcome, but I got through it. And for sure, I'm going to get through this, and we're going to get through this, and we will prosper. And for anybody out there who's struggling the way I'm struggling, and the way millions of people are struggling, just know that even though it feels like you don't have any hope left, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel if you just keep walking. So yeah, I'm glad to finally get back in the hot seat and share, what's been going on, because I really want to continue doing this and stuff. And I was terrified of doing solos, just myself, solo podcast. But you know what? If this is what it takes, and this is what it takes, I really want to do this, and I feel like I'm missing a big opportunity to heal myself if I just let this go. Because, like I said, it gives me a sense of purpose, like I'm actually doing something to correct myself and maybe reach out to others and help them. So, and I got all this camera gear, so I don't want that to go to waste either. I don't like wasting things. Um, I'm trying to figure out how long I've been doing this. It's only been 11 minutes. Wow. I haven't done this in a while. It seems like it's been an hour already. Another thing that I wanted to kind of look into was like, should I do an hour? Should I continue to do an hour podcast? And I don't think that if I'm going to be doing a solo one, I think I'm just going to start doing 30 minutes, just to make it a little easier on myself and break up the content and the topics that I'm going to be speaking about and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I mean, a lot has gone down in such a small period of time. And you throw COVID on top of that, and it just makes everything worse. And I won't lie, I mean, without me even really knowing it, COVID did affect me, just because at least you didn't have to worry about getting a fucking virus, if you go out to the store and stuff like that. So, I mean, slowly but surely it affected me. I'm not saying that, I can't handle it and this and that, but it did play a factor, I mean, anybody with mental illness, or in general, if they're subjected to a certain amount of seclusion for an extended period of time, it's gonna eventually creep up on you and, you know, affect you negatively. And that's what happened to me, But I'm I'm thinking more positive these days, and I'm really, really trying to do my best to just remain positive. And I'm just I'm very humbled at this point, man. And even the other day, this past weekend, me and my partner, we got invited. I got invited to go hang out with a couple of friends that I haven't seen in a long time, probably more than a year and stuff. And it was really weird to finally get out and be around people, because nobody was wearing masks, but everybody that I know, they already had the virus, including myself. As far as I know, I got a positive test back at one point. Quarantine, did everything correct, but yeah, it was. So I felt somewhat, confident that it was okay to go do this, So we did. We both agreed, and then went over there, and man, like, I kind of forgot how to socialize. Like, it came back eventually, but I did forget how to socialize. It was pretty awkward, obviously, because I haven't seen them in a while. Um, but two, because I've been in seclusion for so long, just keeping to myself and not talking to anybody else other than my fiance, and it was a really, really weird dynamic, and it was interesting, and I took it in, and I'm glad I did it. And I also, yeah, so I used it, and I saw it as another opportunity to kind of uh, clear some things in the air, I guess. Put it this way, I have one friend that I grew up with, and over the years, you separate and stuff like that. But this was one of the people that allowed me to live with him when I was in a rough spot, and this was when I was younger. But I feel like over the years we grew apart, and it had been one of those things that was weighing on my mind for a long time. Like, you know what? I really miss, hanging out and talking to this person, because we used to be really close and stuff like that. And I don't know, just the right it just felt right to bring it up. And I was tired of having that on my mind, because now he's having a kid, he's getting married, and I wasn't there for any of that. I mean, I went to his proposal, which was a few years ago, but that, I didn't even know he was having a kid. I would talk to him online occasionally, playing Call of Duty and stuff. But he he lives far away now and a couple hours away, not very far. But nonetheless, I haven't seen him, spoken to him, or even text him or got a call or vice versa. So it was nice seeing this person slash people. But him in particular, I said, I don't know. I was drinking a little bit. We were outside and I saw an opportunity to come out and say what I had to say. And it kind of threw me off when I started talking because within like 2-3 minutes, he started crying. Not a lot. It's just like a couple tears ran down his face. And I was like, oh shit, like, I guess I wasn't wrong. Like, this person kind of feels the same way, you know? And he was like, bro, you don't have to. You didn't have to come out like that and say, I was like, I do. Like, it was weighing on my heart. He's like, I know you do, but still, like, you've always been the homie. And, like, I don't know. I really wanted to get my point across. Like, dude, like, we used to be really close, and I miss that. And uh, I didn't care. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm not embarrassed to just show my feelings anymore. Like, I'm really not. Like, I just want to be organic now. And I'm tired of putting up a false bravado. It's unhealthy and it's not the way to go, being that our whole existence is very, very temporary. Everything is temporary, and I don't want to waste this thing that I've been given, because I've been truly blessed with the people that I have in my life, and I don't want to waste that by pretending like I don't care. So yeah, that was a really interesting night, and I'm glad that we went out, and I'm glad I took that opportunity to talk to this person. And I told him, you know what, you'll be hearing from me, and I really want to, reach out more and be in contact and communication more and stuff like that. And you know what, I plan to. I don't. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I'm just glad that I cleared my conscience. And let this person know how I was really feeling. Um, Excuse me. I just think it's very important that anybody who has regrets about anything like that and feel like they can salvage a relationship, even if it wasn't damaged, but it just kind of went under the radar and you guys have been separated for whatever reason and, you know, not communicating. I think that it's important just to work up the courage to say something, send that text, make that call, meet up with them in person and spill your heart. I think it's very, very important. And it's being vulnerable is very underrated. I think being vulnerable is very underrated. And I'm just starting to learn that. Because everything is not a movie. Not everybody is a freaking Navy SEAL. And to the ones who are, you guys are still human beings as well. And everyone has their peaks and valleys, and everybody struggles, and everyone's struggle is different. And it's really the only thing and I'm not even trying to preach. This is just how I fucking think on the daily. But really what defines your character is how you adapt to that struggle and react to that struggle. And I've been doing a shit job of it lately. And I really started losing my confidence. And I'm slowly starting to gain it back. Um, I'm finally starting to do music again and be creative. And I know that this is just going to be a wave and this is how bipolar works. I'm up right now. And I know eventually those valleys are going to come and I'm going to get depressed. But I at least want to have a different attitude and mentality about it and see how that actually works in my favor versus being negative on top of the depression. But right now, like I don't know. I just put on some glasses for the first time in my life, and I could see a lot more clear. Um, Thank God it only took 31 years. It could have taken 45, 50, or never. I could have never gotten treated. But I'm lucky. I'm lucky enough to have people around me that care enough that make me want to get better. Because if it wasn't for them and my family members and friends, I don't think I would want to get better. 100%. I would have no reason to. I would have no excuse to. I would have no will to get better. Who knows where I would be? And I say that all the time to my partner. She changed me in a big way. That's why I owe it to myself and to them to get better. I don't want to. I'm tired of worrying people, and I want to be that backbone for them, like they've been for me over the years. And I think that I'm gonna I'm gonna grow as a human from this experience. I think it'll add a lot of character because it sucks. It really does, to say the least. It's fucking hell going through this type of shit, and nobody wants. And I don't wish that on anybody. I really don't. But the reality of the situation is, a lot of people go through this shit, And on a lighter note, though, it was pretty cool to finally just relieve that stress and lift that weight off my shoulders and speak my mind. Uh, I don't know. It lets me know that yeah, I mean, I still have a set of fucking cojones. Like, I'm not completely hopeless. Like, cause a lot of people, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but a lot of people wouldn't do it. They would just keep it to themselves, and they might have given up. They might have, not seen it through what they tell themselves they're gonna do. Because a lot of people set goals for themselves, but they never achieve them because they don't take the initiative to complete them. And I've never wanted to be that kind of person. I've always tried my hardest at everything that I've ever done, and a lot of the reason I would become upset was because I knew how much effort I was putting into these certain endeavors that I was facing, like music or whatever, a sport, exercise, fitness, whatever it was, whatever it was. I always tried my hardest, and when I wasn't seeing the results that I thought I deserved, it would discourage me a little bit because I'm so hard on myself when it comes to being my own worst critic. But I mean, I think there's a balance there. I think I should keep some of that, but also I need to go a little bit easier on myself, because not everyone's perfect. Because there's a lot of times where I wasn't even confident in the podcast that I was putting out, and then I'll look back on them like, months later, and I'm just like, you know what, it wasn't that bad. But sometimes I can't trust my judgment and trust my ears, so I'll ask opinions of other people who I feel like can see it from a different perspective, with anything, with my music or whatever, uh, you name it. But sometimes I can't trust myself, and when I get into that mentality, I start doubting, and then I start, talking down on myself, and that's one of those things where I need to improve. I can't be doing that too much to myself because it does weigh on you. And I even noticed, like, man, it just became an unhealthy pattern that I developed over the years of just automatically being the first thing that I do is talk shit on myself. And yeah, it's funny and whatever in the moment, but in the long run, it's coming from a dark place. And I don't want that to be the person that I am anymore. I want to be happy. I want to be confident. I want my confidence back, and I want to keep the people in my lives that I have. Um, and to those of you out there who, like I said, feel like you're at the end of your rope, just keep holding on. Uh, Reach out and just fucking hang in there, man. You'll get through it. To boys, girls, women, everybody, because everybody's struggling. CEOs, the richest people in the world struggle. It doesn't matter who you are. You're eventually going to encounter some type of struggle. And yeah, man, I want to hear what you guys think. What are some things that you guys have gone through, and leave it in the comments. I know I'm not anywhere near where I want to be as far as subscriber count goes, but who knows? Who knows what the future holds? And if I just maintain this attitude and this mentality, there's no stopping me. At least as far as creating it goes, I'll put it out there. If you build it, they will come. you know. But I think I'm just gonna keep it real short today. I'm not gonna prolong this thing. I'll be more prepared, like I said on the next one. This was just one of those things where I got the itch, and I was like, I don't want to waste this opportunity and this energy that I have right now. At least that I'm feeling. I'm not conveying it fully, but I'm feeling pretty ambitious right now, and I didn't want to waste it. So I was like, if I was gonna wait till tomorrow, And I was like, no, fuck this. I'm gonna do it right now. I got to get up and do it. And this is such a janky setup that I did right here. I didn't do my usual set, which next time I'm going to do, because like I said, it gives me a sense of purpose, and I want to do it correctly. But I had to at least set up the camera and make it look decent. So give you guys a recap, let you know what the hell is going on with me, and I don't even have a challenge. I mean, I could try and make one up on the spot. So cut scene. All right, so this is the segment of the podcast, the Stigma Enigma PO3 Podcast Weekly Challenge. And basically the point of this is to give you the incentive and for me to challenge you to walk the PO3 path with me. And what the PO3 path is all about it's all about self-help and, healing yourself and overcoming and, just being more positive, just being brave and, stepping out of your comfort zone to do what you know is right. So the way it works is, what I want you guys to do is think about all the stigmas on mental illness or whatever it is you're going through that terrified you the most to speak up about. Fill in that blank with whatever it is that you're terrified to speak about, so that you give your all. The acronym for stigma is so that I give my all. And slowly this illness guided me along. Stigma. I'll plug it in right here so you can see it visually. But use that as the incentive to take the weekly, challenge and walk the PO3 path with me. So what I want you guys to do for the challenge is do exactly what I did. If there's somebody or anybody that you know that you need to rekindle that flame with them, and reopen the lines of communication with somebody for whatever reason over the years. Maybe things went a certain way and it was out of your control, but just know it is in your control now. And what I want you guys to do is just reach out, meet up with that person, reach out to that person via text, call them or whatever, FaceTime, whatever you have to do to mend that relationship. I want you guys to do that. So, and I wouldn't tell you guys to do anything that I wouldn't do, because I've done it and I'm going to continue to do it. So that'll conclude the weekly challenge. But it felt really good to get back on here, and just know you'll be seeing more episodes from me, and it feels good to finally be back. But with that said, welcome back to the PO3 Podcast. My name is Marcus, and hope you guys have a good week. So tune in next time. So we'll catch you guys on the next one.